ice will melt, water will boil. You and I can shake up this mortal coil. It's bigger than us, and you don't have to worry about it. It's only natural, I should want to be there with you. It's only natural that you should feel the same way too. It's circumstantial, something written in the sky, and we don't even have to try.
Hi, welcome back to another One Shot lesson. Today we're doing a song that's very dear to me and probably a lot of other people as well. It's Only Natural by Crowded House. It's a great song. It's got lots of things going on in there, lots of different sounds. The main guitar in this song, well, there's two guitars. There's kind of an acoustic that you can hear on your left hand side, and there's an electric you can hear on the right hand side, and there's overdubbed lead bits and stuff. The thing that's really nice about the way Neil Finn plays guitar is that he's kind of understated, but at the same time he's kind of loose, and I really like the way he plays guitar. But in this arrangement, it's close to what they play, but kind of adapted for playing on one guitar. So what you saw me just doing there at the start is picking through that E chord. And by the way, I'll go back and say that we are using a capo on the first fret, but everything is kind of relatively straightforward from there. There's a couple of bar chords, but we'll get to those. What I'm doing there is picking through that little lead line that he plays, and there are notes there that he bends instead of doing what I just did there, but this is a way that you can actually play this, have the bass notes ringing, have it all sound relatively like the complete song on one guitar, which is kind of what I aim to do most of the time anyway. So, picking through this, I've tabbed it out really accurately, and your chart has 2 pages. There seems like a lot of stuff there, but it's a relatively simple song. Let's get into it. This, and again, fingernail I'm using, pick you can use just as easily because you have to articulate these notes. And that's the bend. Where you go, he actually bends that, and you can hear that if you listen to the song properly, but that bend is almost impossible to play and keep the rest of the chord going because it's an overdubbed guitar, and I think it sounds quite good there. Try and hammer it and let it pull off as well without picking all of those notes. So you pick the first one, hammer on, and then pull off. And that kind of lets those 3 notes flow almost like a bend. Not really like a bend, but that's what I do to get closer to the bend than just going and picking out all notes. You do that the first time. The second time starts the same way. Second time round you do that little kind of hammer on and pull off on the B string. That's the intro, and that comes back at the end of the first couple of verses as well. Then we move into the verse, which is an E and an E sus4, which is putting your pinky on the G string 2nd fret. The strumming, and again, if you listen really carefully to this recording, you'll hear the acoustic guitar on the left kind of thrashing out those dun 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 dun, and the guitar on the right is doing a higher voicing of an E chord as on an electric guitar. So they're both kind of doing the same thing, but they're not both exactly the same. This gets close to the essence of what they're playing. That's it. That's the 2-bar pattern. So you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. same rhythm to D to A. And at the end of the second bar in that 2-bar pattern, no matter what chord you're on, you can do an extra couple of little strums, and they'll come naturally once you get used to playing this. You'll sort of end up going and fill that last the last beat or two out of that second bar. Don't worry about doing it. I haven't tabbed it because I didn't want it to get complex, but the second time through you'll see the strumming is slightly different. There's a single note on the E string and the rest of the chord strummed. That's to try and help you, give you a guide of how you would fill out that strumming pattern. After you go D, D, A, and you don't have to worry about it, goes back to the first time. You do that. Now you see on that line there's the first time through and the second time through. So if you haven't come across that before, what it means is that the first time you play that section through, you do the bar that's underneath the 1. The second time you come through, because that whole 2-line section is repeated, the second time you come through, you skip over that bit under the 1 and you go straight to the bit under the 2. And that's the... and that's where you end that little riff. Then it goes into the chorus, which is a C sharp minor. And the rhythm here is whatever you want it to be. I find just sort of basic down strums on this rhythm, you'll find a pattern that actually works well. If you're singing, that's going to kind of dictate what you can strum over it as well. But keep it simple. It's only natural I should want to be there. To G sharp minor, so C sharp minor down to G sharp minor. Again, only natural, but you should feel the same way too. When you get to the end of that second pair of G minor bars, you go into second verse. It's easy when you don't try, going on first impressions. Man in a cage has made his confessions. Now you've seen me at my worst, and it won't be the last time I'm down. Back into that. This time through, those riffs change ever so slightly. I've tabbed them out pretty accurately. You don't need to do those little variations, but if you want to be sort of as accurate as this chart will let you, you do this. You kind of jump up to that second fret on the B string. It's marked as a semiquaver, but it's actually faster than that. I just wanted to kind of, again, try and keep it clear. It's more like a grace note that jumps up to that second fret hammer on and finish with the second fret of the G string. So and then you go through the verse again. I want you to know I feel completely at ease. You read me like a book, it's falling down between your knees, please. Let me have my way with you. The second time around, this time, you do that little riff. Again, it's not essential, but if you hear something different on the recording, that's what they're doing. Again into the chorus. It's only natural I should want to be there with you. At the end of this whole line, instead of doing 2 bars of G sharp minor, it's only natural that you should feel the same way too. It goes to B, which you can play there. Of course you can play there. And then it moves into what I call the bridge on your chart. Circumstantial, something E, something G sharp, written in the sky. Now this is a G sharp major, not a G sharp minor. And we don't even have to try. And it holds that A for 2 bars and then goes into this little kind of solo section, which again is not exactly how they play it. Again, it's one guitar doing this lead riff with some bends and stuff, but I think the closest thing that actually sounds good that lets you play it on one guitar by yourself and keep everything moving is like I've tabbed out, which goes something like this. take your time with that. It's a straightforward little tab, but if you add those open notes on the E string, it'll kind of keep it rolling and keep the rhythm going as well. And it'll take you a little while to articulate that, I think, but I think it works. We'll be shaking like mud, buildings of glass, onto the third verse, moving to the bay. We'll be under the rocks again, you don't have to say, I know you're afraid. This time straight after the D-A-D-A bit, it goes into the chorus. It's only natural, I should want to be there with you. It's only natural, you should feel the same way too. Onto the B. Onto the bridge again, which is going to be slightly different. Circumstantial. It's something I was born to. This time on the A, you hold up for 2 bars, but then you go back to the E again. It's only natural. This time the G sharp is a 7. I cannot help it if I want to. And now the second time through on the A, we do this little riff that goes. And then back into the intro. And repeats that. Cannot help it if I want to. And goes on and fades out. That's how the chorus kind of ends the song. So there it is. It's a fantastic song. I can't tell you how much I respect these guys as songwriters, and you know, Neil Finn has got a fantastic voice. If you want to listen to some other interesting stuff they've done, he's done some great things with his brother Tim Finn, which is also really interesting. Maybe I'll do a lesson or 2 of those songs further down the track, but I'll definitely be doing more Crowded House songs, possibly some split end stuff as well. Because it's pretty much all great. Now, if you've got any questions, please let me know. I'll try and help you out if I can. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Good luck with it. Take your time with it and go slowly. Try and articulate this stuff. Remember, you don't have to do everything note for note. And the idea, as always with my charts, is that you use these charts to kind of show you how to play the song, get you used to the format and how the song fits together. And then I'd like you to throw away those charts and play the song like a musician. So good luck with it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you here again soon.